Picture this. A howling snowstorm rips through a dense forest, the kind of cold that bites through your bones. In the middle of this chaos, a group of trained rescue bears, massive furry heroes raised for wildlife ops, gets separated from their handler. Now, these aren't your average bears. They're led by Kodiak, a grizzly with scars that tell a story of survival, and they're out there, lost in the blizzard. But here's where it gets wild. These animals pick up a faint scent, not food, not danger, but a man fighting for his life. That man? Elias Mercer, a wildlife biologist who's been beaten, chained to a tree and left to freeze. You'd think bears in a storm would panic, right? Nope. Kodiak and his crew move like they've got a mission. With calm precision, one bear curls up next to Elias, sharing its warmth like a living furnace. Another hightails it to a ranger outpost miles away, pawing at the door like it's auditioning for a Hollywood animal rescue flick. The wardens, stunned, follow. The bear back through the snow, and just in time they find Elias, frostbitten, barely conscious but alive. This isn't just a story. It's a testament to what animals can do when instinct meets heart. Now let's get real for a sec. Ever felt like you were stuck, chained to your own struggles, waiting for a miracle? Elias was literally chained, but those bears showed up. In life, sometimes help comes from the most unexpected places. A friend's call, a stranger's kindness, or yeah, even a bear. Next time you're feeling lost, pay attention to the bears around you. Maybe it's a coworker who listens or a book that shifts your perspective. Try this. Keep a journal for a week. Jot down every unexpected moment of help you get. You'll be amazed at how the universe sends its own rescue squad. But here's the thing. This rescue wasn't just a happy accident. The spot where Elias was found, a forgotten wildlife corridor miles from anywhere. Who dragged someone out there to die, and why? As Elias lay in the infirmary, shivering but alive, those questions started to gnaw at him. Something bigger was at play, and those bears had just cracked open a story nobody saw coming. Imagine waking up in a hospital bed, your body aching like you've been hit by a truck, your mind foggy as hell. That's where Elias Mercer found himself, blinking against the harsh infirmary lights. His first words? Not "what happened" or "am I okay?" but "where are the bears?" That's how deep this story runs. Those rescue bears, especially Kodiak, the grizzly with a past as rough as his scars, had saved his life in that brutal snowstorm. And now, Elias was desperate to know they were all right. When the nurse told him Kodiak had refused to leave his side, growling at anyone who got too close until medics stepped in, Elias felt something shift. This wasn't just an animal doing its job. Kodiak, a bear with PTSD-like behaviors from his days in rehab, had bonded with him in a way that left experts scratching their heads. Picture it. A 600-pound grizzly acting like a loyal dog, keeping watch over a stranger. It's the kind of thing that makes you believe in connections that don't need words. Ever had a pet or a friend who just got you, no explanation needed? That's what Elias felt, and it hit him hard. But here's where it gets murky. The rangers started digging into where Elias was attacked, a forgotten wildlife corridor, so remote you'd need a map and a prayer to find it. No random thug would know that spot. The wardens whispered about patrol schedules and terrain knowledge, their faces grim. Someone had planned this, someone who knew the forest like the back of their hand. Elias, still weak, couldn't shake the feeling that this wasn't just a rescue story. It was the start of something darker. Let's pause for a moment. Ever notice how life's biggest moments come with a catch? Like getting a dream job but sensing office politics brewing? Elias's rescue was a miracle, but it came with questions. Here's a tip. When something feels off, trust your gut. Try this. Next time you're in a situation that seems too good or too bad to be true, write down 3 things that don't add up. Maybe it's a shady coworker or a deal that's too sweet. Those notes might just save you from a bigger mess. Elias didn't have a notebook, but he had Kodiak, and that bear's loyalty was screaming something wasn't right. As Elias lay there, staring at the ceiling, he couldn't stop thinking about that corridor. Who'd want him dead? And why'd they pick a place only a forest insider would know? All right, let's set the scene. Elias Mercer's out of the infirmary, still sore but breathing, thanks to those rescue bears. He's sitting with head ranger Dana Reeve and bear behaviorist Lucas Harlan, trying to wrap his head around what happened. They're talking about Kodiak, that scarred grizzly who saved his life. Now Kodiak's no cuddly teddy bear. He's got a rep for snarling at strangers, a leftover from his rough past. But with Elias, it's like they're old pals. Dana says she's never seen anything like it, and Lucas, who's studied bears for years, is straight up baffled. This animal's protective instincts kicked in like Elias was family. That's not just a story. It's a reminder that sometimes the fiercest hearts beat the hardest for those who need them. But hold up, because the warm fuzzies don't last. Dana's team finds fresh tire tracks near that creepy wildlife corridor where Elias was chained up. Then, there's a fence, sliced clean through and broken chains that weren't there before. It hits like a punch to the gut. The attackers came back. Kodiak's acting off too, pacing and growling at the tree line like he smells trouble. Elias feels it in his bones. This isn't over. It's like the forest itself is whispering, "Watch your back." Let's get real for a second. Ever had a moment where everything seems fine, but your gut's screaming something's wrong? Maybe it's a friend who's acting shady or a deal that feels sketchy. Elias and Kodiak are living proof. Trust that instinct. Here's something you can do. When your spidey senses tingle, take 5 minutes to ask, "What's off here?" Jot down anything weird. Maybe it's someone's tone or a detail that doesn't add up. Last year, I did this when a too-good-to-be-true job offer came my way. Turned out, the company had a shady rep. That little pause saved me a headache, and it might have saved Elias too if he'd had more time to think. Kodiak's bond with Elias isn't just heartwarming, it's a lifeline. That bear's growls are like an alarm bell, and Elias knows it. The tire tracks, the cut fence, the chains, they're pieces of a puzzle, and every piece screams danger. As Elias watches Kodiak stare into the darkening forest, he can't shake the feeling that whatever's out there is coming closer. And fast. Okay, picture this. It's the dead of night at the ranger station, and the power cuts out like someone flipped a switch. No hum from the lights, no buzz from the heater, just eerie silence and a chill creeping in. The backup generator? Dead as a doornail. Elias Mercer, head ranger Dana Reeve, and Kodiak, that grizzly with a heart bigger than his growl, know something seriously wrong. Shadows flicker through the snow outside, and it's not just the wind playing tricks. This isn't a story anymore. It's a fight for survival, and those rescue bears are about to prove they're more than animals. They're heroes. Elias grabs a flashlight, his hands shaky while Dana checks the locks. Kodiak's on high alert, sniffing the air like he's reading a map only he can see. When the attack hits, it's fast, boots crunching, glass shattering. But Kodiak? He's a game changer. He guides Elias through the dark station, his nose cutting through the chaos like a GPS. In the supply tunnel, they spot one attacker lurking, and Elias's heart's pounding so loud he's sure the guy hears it. Out in the snow, 2 more are making a break for snowmobiles. But Kodiak's not having it. He charges, a wall of fur and fury, taking a bullet to protect Elias. The bear collapses, blood staining the snow, as Dana cuffs the last guy. Let's hit pause. Ever been in a moment where everything's on the line, and you've got to trust someone or something completely? That's Elias and Kodiak. Trust like that doesn't just happen. It's built. In your own life, think about who's got your back. Maybe it's a friend, a mentor, or even a pet. Here's a trick. Strengthen those bonds now, before the storm hits. Call that friend you've been meaning to check on, or spend an extra 5 minutes with your dog. Small moments build trust that can save you later. I started doing this with my sister, weekly coffee chats, and it's made us unstoppable when life gets messy. But even as the attackers are down, Elias is kneeling by Kodiak, his hands on the bear's fur, praying he pulls through. The station's a wreck, the night's still dark, and those cuffed intruders aren't talking. Elias can't help but wonder, who sent these guys? And what were they so desperate to keep hidden? All right, let's dive into the moment where everything comes crashing down, or starts to make sense, depending on how you look at it. Elias Mercer's standing in the ranger station, his head spinning from the attack, his heart heavy as he watches Kodiak, that heroic grizzly, fight for life in a recovery cage. The investigation's in full swing, and what they uncover is a gut punch. A forged permit granting access to protected conservation land. Not just any land, but a stretch loaded with rare minerals, stuff worth millions. This isn't just a rescue story anymore. It's a full-blown conspiracy, and the truth is uglier than anyone expected. Then comes the bombshell. Dana Reeve, the head ranger who's been by Elias's side, breaks down during questioning. Tears streaming, she admits she made a deal with land developers, thinking it'd be a little harmless exploration. She never dreamed they'd turn violent, chaining Elias to a tree or sending goons to the station. Her betrayal cuts deep, like a knife twisted in Elias's chest. He doesn't say a word, just stands by Kodiak's cage, stroking the bear's fur. That animal, shot and scarred, is the only one who's been straight with him from the start. Let's take a step back. Betrayal stings, doesn't it? Whether it's a friend who lets you down or a coworker who throws you under the bus. It's a reminder. Not everyone's who they seem. But here's the flip side. Those moments teach you who's real. Elias had Kodiak, a bear who risked everything. In your life, who's your Kodiak? Maybe it's a sibling, a mentor, or even yourself. Here's something to try. Make a list of 3 people, or animals, who've always shown up for you. Reach out to one this week, even just to say thanks. I did this with my old coach, and it reminded me I'm never as alone as I think. As Elias processes Dana's confession, the weight of it all settles in. The forged permit, the minerals, the violence. It's a web of greed spun by folks who do anything to cash in. Kodiak's steady breathing in that cage is the only thing keeping Elias grounded. But even now, with the attackers caught and Dana's truth laid bare, Elias can't shake the feeling there's more to this story. What else is hiding in those woods? And who else might be pulling the strings? So here we are, at the end of Elias and Kodiak's wild ride. A story that's got it all: heart, betrayal, and a grizzly who's more loyal than most humans. Take a second to think about it. What does this tell you about trust? Elias found it in a scarred bear when the people around him let him down. When have you leaned on someone or something unexpected and it changed everything? Maybe it was a pet, a stranger, or even your own gut. Drop a comment below and share your story. I read them all, and I bet others will too. And here's a question to chew on. Could you forgive someone like Dana, who meant no harm, but caused so much pain? It's a tough one, right? If this tale of rescue and conspiracy got your heart racing, you'll love our other videos. Hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to keep up with these epic stories. Trust me, you don't want to miss what's next. Who's your Kodiak in life? Let's hear it.